So Kentucky happened this weekend. It was the first time in a while that the trucks, Nationwide, and the Sprint Cup were all at the same racetrack. Which means Kyle Busch got to be in every race this weekend. And as you'd expect, do I even need to go on? Anyway, I didn't get to see the truck race because I thought it was gonna be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend, but it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday weekend. So I didn't see the truck race. I saw the Nationwide race. It made me angry, of course. I mean, Kyle Busch had that race in the bag, but then caution and somehow Harvick pulled away. It happened. Shouldn't really surprise me, but it kind of did. Well, enough about that. So, didn't see the truck race. Really wanted to. Not really. Even if it was on Friday and I would have watched, I probably would have just skipped the entire race until the end because we all knew how it was going to turn out. In fact, I haven't even looked up the results for it yet. Hold on a second. How much Kyle Busch won? Holy crap, Kyle Busch won. Yep, the Uno. So, the Quaker State 400 presented by Advanced Auto Parts 400. So, Keselowski... this race, it made me... It felt like we were back in March again, didn't it? I mean, all the rain before everything. There was, no practices because of all the fucking rain. It looked like the race was going to get rained out. That looked like March. Penske front row. That looked like March. Jimmy Johnson didn't lead a lap. That looked like March. Didn't he? He didn't lead a lap, did he? He didn't lead a lap. He didn't even lead a lap. It felt like March all over again. And you know what else it felt like about March all over again? The races were fucking boring. Yeah, they were complete yawn fests. Everything. I didn't even see the truck race, and I'm sure that was a yawn fest as well. The Nationwide race, I could barely pay attention to it. And the Sprint Cup race, the one that I actually tuned in to see, every weekend I get a chance to, I could barely keep my eyes on the screen for more than 2 seconds. I remember I was playing PlayStation 2 during the time, and I was playing Ace Combat 5. I have 33 hours into one game save in Ace Combat 5. So basically, I've played through the game probably 17 times by now. So I should know everything that's happened, and I should have seen everything that there is to offer in that game. And yet I was still more interested in playing that than watching the NASCAR race. It was just blah. I remember turning off the PlayStation 2 and saying, okay, I'm going to watch this race now so I can comment about it later. They did a restart, and I watched it, and then when the commercials break came back on, I went back to my video games. It was boring. Boring. And Kentucky should be an exciting racetrack. It's wide enough to go 6 wide. It's wide enough to go 6 wide, so it should be entertaining. And someday, if you go back to How to Fix NASCAR, once they bunch up the cars all together, I'm sure you'd be seeing 7 wide at Kentucky. And that would be worth it. I'd watch the entire race just to see that. That would be worth it. I mean, if it was just like the one on Sunday, yesterday, if the race played out as boringly as Saturday's race, what the fuck am I talking about? If it played out exactly like Saturday's race and was really boring, I would still watch the entire thing just to see 7 wide. Because that would be awesome. And you really can't do that anywhere else, because I don't think anywhere is as wide as Kentucky. Maybe Darlington, but Darlington is that wide, but they only use like a fourth of the race field on there. I don't understand why, because not an entire racetrack, why not actually use it? But that's my opinion. Back to the races. Let's see the results. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch. Just like the Nationwide races. Ryan Newman finished 3rd. Matt Kenseth finished 4th. I've given up on Matt Kenseth after last year, too, by the way. If you can get 7 wins in a season and still lose the championship, there's no hope. I mean, he's already won the championship back in 03, but, you know, it was the last year before the chase. And I was going to do them calculations to see who really won all these other championships under the old formats. But you have to like calculate every single race individually, and that just takes too much time. So, oh my head. Anyway, Junior 5th. Gordon. It's Gordon in 24th. Or 6th. Kevin Harvick was in 7th. And you know, just like every weekend, it looked like he was going to come up, storm through the field, and get 2nd again. You know, like every weekend. Johnson finished 10th. You know, he didn't lead a lap, so it doesn't matter. Points don't matter. It doesn't matter where you finish anymore. Points don't matter. And Larson looked like he was going to have a good day. I was real excited. I saw where Larson was started. I saw him do for a while, you know, between playing Ace Combat. I was really excited for Larson, and then he got wrecked. Well, no, he didn't get wrecked. He actually blew a tire and then hit the wall and stuff. And it was like, fuck. So much for this race. It's going to be another Kevin Harvick day. But 18th, Michael Annett. That's a good finish right there. I do believe 18th is where he restarted on that final restart. So he was able to maintain his position. It wasn't like he came out in 1st and then dropped all the way back to 18th. He managed to stay in 18th, which is applaudable. Martin Truex Jr., 19th. Not applaudable. He has an actual vehicle as opposed to Michael Annett. There is no excuse for Martin Truex Jr. not to be winning races. It's pissing me the fuck off. And Daniac the Maniac was in 8th. When I glanced at the TV screen, and then later it was like in 30th, and I was like, but anyway. They ran a story on NASCAR.com about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. having a shitty season so far. I didn't notice, and I don't think anyone else noticed either, because who gives a shit about Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? Anyway, he finished 25th. Probably never hear me talk about him again unless I'm enraged about something. Cole Witt, 28th. It's better than he usually does. And then Alex Bowman got wrecked, and it was like, fuck you, game. Or existence. Who finished 43rd? It doesn't say who finished 43rd. Was there only 42 cars in this race? If there was, I'm going to have to strangle someone. Seriously. Denny Hamlin finished below Mike Bliss in a starting park car. That's kind of sad. Okay, so that's the highlights of the results. Anything else for me to talk about? I don't think so. This has gone on longer than most of them do anyway, so I think I'll be done now. I might do the reasons why I don't like Dale Earnhardt family today, but I might not, so